Okay then. Going live. Hey everybody, we are officially live, I think. Are we on? I think we're on. How's it going? Can you hear me? This is where it's like I can't hear you, so it's sad. Hello. Sorry I'm a little bit late, just internet problems. I can see you guys have been having a conversation already, and that's what I like to see. Could I just have some confirmation this is definitely up and running? If someone pops something on the side, that would be super helpful for me. There you go. Hearing you loud and clear. Thank you. Welcome to a sunny day. You can see I'm inside today. Just there's building work going on right now. So I decided it's easier for me to come in within 4 walls. But as you can see, I have a plant. So all is well with life. Do you like it? It's a nice plant. I mean, maybe we should focus on the plant rather than me. So how's everybody doing? I'm just going to do my usual spiel whilst we get going. Sorry, I realize I haven't even sorted my life out. Just to allow people time to tune in, as it were. So, this charger lead, that's not good, is it? I mean, that's the wire. So, welcome to our live hangout number 8. How's everybody doing? Where are you tuning in from today? If you let me know on the sides. I've already seen we've had Canada, which is cool. Hey, Rich, how's it going? Ash is here. Patrick's here. Dan's here. Oh, man, the whole crew is here. I'm feeling loved, you know. Cool. So, as usual, we're just going to have a bit of a chat, and I'm going to ramble on about life in general. There's a few helicopters going by, as there just always seems to be with the sky, unfortunately. So, yeah. I'll just answer any questions you guys have got on the side. I'm trying to make a decision at the moment whether or not I'm going to be able to do a live session next week. I don't know how many of you guys are tuning in from the UK, but the situation's changed slightly. We can go out and about, and I'll have a chat about how I'm feeling about that because it's pretty. Yeah, I have things to say. Well, no, I don't. I have emotions that I feel. But yeah, anyway. Oh, cool, man. Cumbria, Gloucestershire, Darlington. Life is good. Life is good. Or Oregon. Why can't I say that word? Holland. Well, that's cool. Holland. Nice. Arkansas. Oh, people are about. That's what we like. Anyway, so as I say, welcome. It always takes me so long to say welcome. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad that we're here. I'm glad we get to spend this time together. So today, as I say, answer some questions. But before we get started, I want to say thank you so much to those of you guys who have seen the Rob Roy film. So I put that up on Monday. That was carnage trying to get that up, but we got that in the end. I mean, talk about having to try and find some inner zen because that was hard work. I finished the film on Friday, but then Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I edit on Final Cut Pro, and I just had so much trouble saving it as a file. So basically, you import everything into the software, then you edit on a timeline, and then basically you have to render it into a package. And what kept happening was Final Cut kept dropping frames, so it meant that the share kept failing. And like, oh my gosh. I mean, if you want to sort of have to really tune into finding inner peace, do that. Because it's hard. But we got there in the end at 3 a.m. on Tuesday morning. So I kind of missed my deadline by 3 hours, but that's fine. You know, what is 3 hours in the overall scale of things? And yeah, it seems like you guys have really enjoyed it, which is super nice. So thank you for watching it. And if you did enjoy it, please share it with people. Obviously, let's try and get the message out there that we can get outside for mental and physical health. And speaking of that, I just want to give you a little summary about Spend More Time in the Wild and what we're all about. So me, myself, and I, that is, and the people that support and encourage me, and that's you. So, Spend More Time in the Wild is all about inspiring and empowering people to get outside for the benefit of mental and physical health, whilst building meaningful connections with the natural world and with each other. I always like to do that. It's like a dance. So yeah, it's obviously I started this project in 2016, but really it was sort of 2018 that it properly became a thing. This is like what I do, like this is my life, and I love it. So it's great. And obviously, this year has not gone to plan, but that's okay. I'm working with it. And the situation with lockdown is changing now. So I'm starting to look forward a little bit and sort of work out what's actually possible, what content I can generate, obviously day walks and things, and just trying to obviously respect the whole situation. So yeah, and obviously I started these live sessions as a response to lockdown, as well as during lockdown with COVID-19, started the Great Garden Camp Out, and I'm definitely that's going to be an annual thing now, I've decided, and also a million miles for mines. So for those of you guys who've not been logging your miles, get logging your miles. A million miles for mines is set up again to sort of raise the profile of mental health during this current situation, and basically yeah, it's sort of trying to give some hope and purpose into the situation right now. Basically just trying to encourage people to keep moving and sort of contribute to stuff and to spark meaningful conversations about mental health. And it seems to be going really well. I mean, 1,000,000 miles is a lot of miles. I never sort of realized how big 1,000,000 was until I had to look at 1,000,000 miles. But it's great. And I'm just going to keep this going, man. Like until we hit 1,000,000 miles. I might just be an Ammonite if I hit 1,000,000 years. 1,000,000 miles. So basically, I mean, if it takes all year, if it takes several years, then cool, no worries. But you can walk, bike, run, row machine, do whatever you want, log those miles, plug them in, share it with the world, hashtag 1,000,000 miles, do everything you can, get the message out there, draw trees. I'm going to start promoting this again sort of towards the end of the week because I've sort of let it slip. My focus was obviously on the Rob Roy way. But yeah, it's all good. And soon I'll be back on the trail eating couscous. So yes, I love life. Anyway, that's my little spiel. And don't forget, guys, if you've had any benefit, if you've enjoyed the films that I put out for you, Spend More Time in the Wild, if you've been inspired, if you're feeling motivated to get out, if you've been encouraged, if you felt comforted, whatever it is, if you would like to sort of support the project or join our online community and sort of give back, then please feel free to check out our Patreon community. Just shared the link. So for as little as $3 a month, like a coffee, and hey, we can't even get coffee right now. I mean, coffee's good. Frothy coffee. That's what makes life worth living. But yeah, if you, oh man, I have a song that I wrote about coffee. It's called the Frothy Coffee song. Do I sing it to you? That's the question. But to be fair, like with the Frothy Coffee song, you don't really sing it. You kind of shout it. It goes, frothy coffee, I'll start working when you do. This is a good song. But I send it to people and then they just sing it when they make frothy coffee. So, frothy coffee. Anyway, I digress because, you know, I tend to do that. My brain's quite impermeable. It doesn't really hold information. So yeah, if you'd like to join our Patreon community, as I say, for as little as $3 a month, there's loads going on there. Oh my gosh, Patreon people, love you guys. And thank you so much for supporting the project so far, because literally right now, Spend More Time in the Wild would possibly be in a gutter if it weren't for you guys. And I really appreciate it. So boom, Patreon community, check it out. Links up there. Feel free to get involved if you can, want to, all yours. All right, let's have a look at what's going on here. We've got people tuning in and we've got a conversation happening. So I'm going to read the conversation. Richard asks, hope you're all well. Well, I'm well. Hopefully you're well too. Oh, you have a rainy day. That's sad. I'm sending you some sunshine. You know, it's about the weather inside that matters, really. Yeah. I'm just reading. You know, I have to be quiet when I read. It's quiet. Hey, Annie. Hey, Annie. My name's not Addie. I can't read. Any favorite pocket knife you use on the trail? That's funny because I was looking at knives this morning. I like my Opinel one that I bought in Chamonix. Is it Opinel? Do you say it like that? Opinel? No. I bought it in Chamonix. I treated myself and it had like a moose on it. A moose? That's a fun word. Moose and yak. Some of my favorite words. I'm really unfocused today. I've had a few conversations today and I'm just like, so yeah, yak. No, knives. I like, yeah, my Opinel one, but I lost it on Exmoor National Park, which is sad. But yeah, they're great. They're great. They're pretty cheap. Made in France, which is nice. And I use them. There we go. Let's have a look. Scrolling. Are there Munros on your list to hike? They seem a bit wild. They are wild, aren't they? They're not like Wainwrights, you know? They're not tame and, you know, mellow. They're like out there. Some of them you have to hike like for several days in order to even get to them. But yeah, no Munros on my list. But if I had the opportunity, then I will. Definitely. Actually, there are. I lie. But I can't remember what they're called. Ben McDo? Yeah, that's a Munro, right? I think that's one. That's on my list, potentially for this year, potentially within a project, potentially, maybe. Who knows? All right, let's have a look. Scrolling. Ha! My favorite cowboy hat wearing jungle Tarzan warrior. Yeah, that's what I like, man. That's good stuff. It's like I try to be like Mulan, you know, just going to war. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yearning for the hills. Me too. As a beginner, should I spend thousands on clothing equipment or go for cheap stuff? Wow, that's deep. I mean, that's a deep pond, you know? Where's the bottom of that pond? Well, it depends if you have thousands. If you want to spend thousands, if you get satisfaction out of it, then no, I would just encourage you. I mean, I think most of us have started with just like hiking in jeans and just trainers. So like, in all honesty, like just try stuff, and if things fit you properly, this is quite a vague question. So if you want to just ask some questions that I can narrow down that a little bit, but honestly, like, you don't need to pay loads of money. It's all essentially the same stuff. Obviously, you can pay more money for higher quality stuff that should last longer, but it depends. It depends how serious you are. It depends what you want to do. I'm presuming you're just a beginner hill walker, maybe. But yeah, we can talk about that. Yeah, that's a good question though. I think it's a good question. And I keep meaning to do a question on like budget kit stuff, but the trouble is, it's like basically all I'm going to say is go outdoors. And I don't like recommending things like that because things feel different for different people. And then I'm going to go down a brand route. I don't really want to do that because what you'll notice with all my reviews and stuff is I don't actually, I don't tell people to buy this. I'm just like, it's just trying to help people make that decision. So if I start recommending specific products, then I don't feel that's not quite what I do. Never trust a tadpole. That's what I like to say. Not that I'm a tadpole really, but I do swim around and just don't really do a lot. All right, let's have a look. I'm really far behind. I'm at 407 on the comments. So please answer this for me. How do you deal with bugs, insects, mice, and other creepy animals in the night? In the night? Well, I don't really get in my tent. I get a few moths in my tents, and I can't talk. Mosquitoes, and mozzies. Not the biggest fan, but they come in. How do I deal with them? Mostly I just ignore them. I get spiders. They come in, and there's like beetle things, slugs as well. Yeah. I never had mice, although my mum did have once that a rat came in the middle of the night and took her food bag and ran off, and she came out in the morning and there was just like food everywhere, and the only thing it left was a yogurt because she bought a yogurt in the store, so that's quite funny. But I've not had that, so I don't know. I just flick them out basically. I think it's part of it, nature's nature and we are nature as well, so it's sort of just being at one with the natural world. I've done most of the words, How do you deal with irate farmers when footpath signs suddenly disappear and you have to question where I go? I read the map. Looking at field boundaries is a good way to navigate. But yeah, I'm not going to lie. If there's one thing that makes me a bit frustrated on the track, especially when you have a heavy backpack and it's sunny or it's really boggy, then like muddy, yeah, it's just basically I have to breathe deeply and find my inner calm. It's true. How's my knee doing? Knee is not the best, but to be fair, my knee is doing better than it was. My foot is not good. My right foot, we're like a year on since this injury sort of flared up, and it's bothering me. And I'm a little bit concerned because pretty soon, hopefully, I'll be out hiking. So we'll have to see how that goes. I'm catching up with you. I'm catching up. Did I imagine this? But do you wear a weightlifting style belt for a backpacking sport and do you still use it? Yes, I do. Asking for a friend. Or is it for you, Ian? No, I do. For those of you guys who are gym people, so when you're lifting heavy weights, particularly deadlifting, you can wear a big belt that sort of goes around your torso. So I wear that. I put it really tight. And basically the reason why I do that is because, well, actually don't put it that tight. Partly, I have an injury in my upper back, or it's basically just spread across my whole back now. Don't know what it is. I've had acupuncture on it, physio on it, osteo on it, CT scans on it. It's obviously some neurological thing. I think it stems from my neck, an injury, like a trauma as a kid in my neck. I fell on my head, basically. It doesn't tend to work out great. I've just been told I have to take medication for the rest of my life, and I'm kind of not doing that. So there we go. But yeah, basically the reason with the weightlifting belt is it's ridiculous. But because you guys can't see it with the GoPro, but the hip belt is kind of like here. It's almost like a rib cage belt. And what I'm trying to do is really keep the weight off my back. But the trouble with that is then the backpack, as you can probably see in some videos, it goes really far back because obviously it's really high. I kind of work with it. It does help a little bit. I wouldn't recommend that unless you need to, because you need your backpack to fit properly. Obviously, I just have to be able to get through the trails, and that's one way I sort of manage it. I also get proper sweaty, but what's life without a bit of grind and sweat? All right, scrolling through the comments. Oh, from Somerset, hello. Still too soon. Well, maybe. Walking on your treadmill, that's quite cool. Very good. Treadmill. I can't do treadmills. I get really dizzy. It's like the one gym thing I can't do. How do you mentally and physically deal with the bane of constant wet weather and in sometimes I just get stuck with words. Inability to be able to dry things out. How do I cope mentally and physically? Good question. It's kind of good that I like being cold. I generally like prefer being wet and cold when I'm on my own because I feel like I don't have to worry about anybody else. But the reality is, like, being wet and cold can actually be really quite dangerous, especially in the mountains. Keep reminding me to drink. I really need to drink. Yeah, so mentally, I just really have to keep on top of myself. I mean, giving yourself permission to have the odd sort of grumpy hour or so. I'm not going to lie, it's not uncommon to occasionally just find me slumped on the side of the path, having not even bothered taking my pack off. So I'm like half lying there like, oh, like, why is this my career choice? But I mean, I'm not really answering your question. I think, you know, you just really got to be on top of it. So especially camping is trying to keep the wet stuff in the porch. But the reality is everything just gets wet and damp. And just knowing that it will pass is a little bit reassuring. I mean, it doesn't really help you in the moment so much, but that's all I've got on that. Basically, we signed up for this. And surely it's better to be outside in the wet and the rain than it is to be in a hot building, stuck inside, looking out on a sunny day. Am I right? I don't know if I'm right about that, but maybe. Do you think the lockdown has done your body good in recovery time? And do you think ultralight gear would help your injuries and pack weight? I don't think the lockdown has done me any good. I think it's actually done worse because I feel exceptionally unfit right now. I'm trying to train and I jumped into lockdown, like really moving a lot and being like, whoo, gonna get in the bike and I'm moving. I mean, if you look back at the first couple of sessions, I'm like on it. And then now I'm just like, no. I'm not very good at motivating myself. And yes, motivation comes from action. Yes, it does. But working with it. Recovery time. Also, yeah, all my injuries seem to be slightly worse, actually. My back, my knee, my foot, my elbow is also a bit weird, but that's a long injury. So I'm feeling like I'm falling apart. And if I let myself, I could probably quite happily dwell in self-pity for a few days. So, you know, time and place. Ultralight gear. Dude, my kit is really light. Like my base, why do words get stuck? Base weight is really light. It's the camera gear. It's the camera gear that adds to the weight of my pack. Like my base weight is about 9 kilograms. You know, the heaviest thing I've got is my sleeping bag, and that's my Rav Neutrino 600, I think. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, it's quite bulky, but I use it because it's comfortable and I like it, and I don't have another one, so that's fine. Everything else is really light. My roll mat's really light. It's probably light. It's the Neo Air, Thermarest Neo Air, so that's pretty much as light as you can get with that. My stove kit's really light. Everything's light, man. So yeah, camera gear. I don't recommend it if you don't want to lug artificial batteries up and down mountains and across the country and around the world and everywhere. Thank you for your question. Just realized I'm not being very thank you for your questions. Ian, Patreon group is awesome, folks. Yeah, man, it is. It's pretty awesome. All right, good to see you guys talking about the Robbery Way. Do you have any thoughts about walking in the Lake District now that the rules have changed and going outdoors? Man, that's a question. I mean, how much do I want to slaughter myself right now? Well, just gonna natural pause. I mean, abide by the regulations, folks. There you go. That's what I have to say about that. The national parks aren't even open yet anyway. So also, if you're like me, probably you might not want to be going there straight away because of all the hordes of people are probably going to go there. Trouble is, the weather's nice, and that makes it hard, you know. So I don't have any particular thoughts on that. Be guided by your heart. That's what I have to say, you know. I mean, our hearts are like a big red bucket, and sometimes you just have to think about what you put in the bucket, you know. So yeah, you don't want that bucket to get empty, folks. No way. It's like a bottomless pond. All right, let's have a look. Would you consider doing a long distance canal trail? That's a good question. I think about canals. I don't know, man. Canals are cool, but it's like a totally different experience because they're usually pretty flat, pretty mellow. I mean, it's chilled out walking. I feel like cycling canals is much more fun than walking them. But at the same time, canals present a challenge for me because they can be boring. That's an in commas for anyone who's just listening to this because there's not a lot going on. But at the same time, it's quite nice because they really force you to switch off and just chill. So I like that. Or I like that challenge because I'm not very good at that. And I like waving to the boats and gangoodling. I think that's what it's called when you're watching the boats. So that's fun. That's a cool question. Canal walks. Yeah, because there's a few, isn't there? There's the Leeds to Liverpool canal walk. Someone did that. Who did that? Oh, it was a podcast. Yeah. Natural pause. How do you do a panic attacks on the trail? I didn't deal well with mine for years. That's a question I answered recently in my last Q&A video. Panic attacks in general are not fun. On the trail, really not fun. Let's start with facts. On average, a panic attack lasts between 20 and 30 minutes. After 20 and 30 minutes, you can be mellowed down somewhat, certainly within the physiological response. You can certainly be having a panicky day where panic attacks come and go, and it just is not very fun existing. But first of all, start with that. Like, this too shall pass. It's completely like lost my brain then. Yeah, so I would encourage you to just to try and breathe, to lean in. Don't fight it. If you fight it, you're going to extend it. And basically just like what is it that's triggering that panic attack? Like what, and also what are the calming factors that you can implement there and then? Like, is there anything in particular? Could you phone a friend? Could you just like sit and breathe, close your eyes? Blocking out a sense, I find, usually helps me. Like sometimes my sight, I'll shut my eyes or I'll cover my ears. Actually, for me, cities, I like cities? I might call a city. And I find not being able to see the sky, but also there's other reasons. Basically, cities tend to induce panic attacks in me. If I'm not quite in the right headspace because I've perhaps not chosen to be there, like I'm not going to like museums or something, or just whatever. And basically, if you bump into me in a city, I'll probably have my sunglasses on and earphones in. I won't be listening to anything. My earphones are just in to block out a sense. My sunglasses are on to try and mellow out a sense. But the same is also like with supermarkets. Sometimes I'll walk around a supermarket with sunglasses on and earphones in because it really just helps to calm me down. So it's something to think about, blocking out a sense. But I think just the more panic attacks you have, this is quite counterintuitive sentence, but the more you know yourself, the more you know how to deal with how you're feeling and how you're going to respond, or how you feel after a panic attack. Like sometimes I feel quite like deflated and just like knackered. So, giving yourself permission just to sit and rest, or get your guidebook out and read that, or if you've got depending what you've got, just do something to slightly distract yourself. Maybe write things down. And if you can't write things down, leave a voice message on your phone. Just try and process some of this stuff. And also just be compassionate, be kind to yourself. Especially if you're hiking alone, you're the one who has to get yourself through that situation. And actually, it can be very empowering. It can not be fun, like to sit around having a panic attack, especially when you just like someone to be there. But the reality is they're probably not going to be, especially if you're hiking on your own. And we hike with ourselves. Like I don't know, we have to really partner with ourselves. And there's something very empowering about understanding yourself and being able to comfort yourself and work through things. So I just encourage you to do that. Be kind always. Have you ever had a Osprey Stratos? No, I have not. Question about what is a freshwater pearl? A freshwater pearl is a pearl that grows in the fresh water. So it's like an oyster, like a clam thing, and it has a pearl in it that grows from the sediment that it takes in, and it crushes it into this like really beautiful thing, this ball. And then I don't know, isn't it? It's a diamond that's a girl's best friend. Maybe it's a pearl that's a girl's best friend. But yeah, it's basically that's what it is, and they sell for a lot of money. So freshwater pearls. Have you done a Wainwright's Coast to Coast walk yet? Yes, I have. 2018, man. 2018. Check it out. It's called Embrace the Journey. It's on YouTube. You can find it now online. We can go out now, but it's raining. I'm sorry it's raining for you, What do you think of Atom packs? All waterproof and lightweight. I've never used one. I like the design of my Exos a lot. Well, that has a massive hole in it at the moment, which I really need to stitch up. Because I used it the other day when I was walking out to film a video, and like everything fell out. Just like this littering of expensive gear down the path. I just have no intention of sewing it up, but I will. I think I know a few people. Trail Hunter, Russell, what's his surname? Russell, he uses one. Are they the ones that custom design for people? Because I think they do. But yeah, I'd have a look at one. Definitely try one. Why not? To be fair, the Osprey Exos is not a heavy pack, especially the 48. Some of Osprey's packs are quite robust and heavy, but the Exos is not. So yeah, because I've been asked to trial of course I can't do that at the moment, but the Gossamer Gear Mariposa 60, so 60 liters, but it it's heavier than my Exos, which yes is 48, but I don't know, it's give and take. I think features are really important. I'm not one to just like skimp on stuff. I don't want to make life on the trail harder than it has to be. Because like, especially because I'm filming and I just want to I try and mellow out as many stresses as possible. So if my pack functions well, then that's one less stress to worry about. Favorite place to wild camp? I do not have a particular spot, I'm afraid. Exmoor seems quite nice to wild camp on. I'm trying to just think about that. I like the woods. Woods are nice. I have no particular answer to that question. I apologize about that. Scrolling through the comments. Do you find, Carl, you guys are on it with the questions today. I'm loving this. Do you find you have to do stretches on long walks to prevent stiffness in your back? Yeah, my back's not the best. To be fair, just lying flat on the floor really helps my back. I love lying flat on the floor. It's like, sometimes it's like, okay, I'm just going to ease into this, but then I get there and it's fine. I definitely sleep better on the floor, closer to the earth. Do I do any other stretches? Not really. I mean, I'm permanently trying to move my back because it always feels tight, like even right now. I mean, let's just not ignore the pain. If your tent is sealed, probably you should get ant slugs. Yeah, to be fair, I really don't shut up my tent very much in the night. I do everything I can to prevent condensation. So that usually means outer half unzipped and inner pretty much I hardly zip it up. So yeah, that's that. Do you think, oh, hang on, I lost it. Wait, go, man, come back. Do you think the benefits of living in modern times outweigh the simplicity of life? Oh, I love this question. This is the best question. It's deep. Okay, man. So once again, deep pond. Where do I want to go with this? Sometimes I feel like I've been born in the wrong era. But at the same time, I do very much feel like I'm living out my purpose with wild. There's nothing else I'd rather be doing. I don't feel like I could do anything else. I think I'd just be like a slug if I had to do anything else. I mean, slugs have purposes, right? I mean, hope and purpose for the slugs. I don't know, man. Like, I think there are a lot of benefits to modern living, but I think we have to live very intentionally. That's the thing. I think living in other eras, you're kind of often forced into a path, you know, because especially being a female, you would have had a lot less rights. And potentially, I mean, look at most cultures, like there's not very sort of matriarchal cultures. I definitely could not live in a male dominant society like that. I just want to like thrive. If I'm suppressed, it's like I have something to say about that. Or at least my emotions do. So like I think there's so many benefits to living in the here and now. At the same time, it's really hard for those of us who especially, you know, really feel like we need to live close to the earth, and to live in a time where the world is being plundered is hard. And I think for those of us who are sensitive to that, like whether or not we're consciously focusing on the state of the planet, it's just this constant background noise, you know, knowing that there's a lot of damage being done right now. And actually, even if we try to step away from modern living, so many aspects of the way that we work in the 21st century are going to be harming the planet. You know, and yes, you can do things like carbon offsetting. You can be very mindful of conscious, but it really has to be intentional. It has to be a choice. And I think it is a blessing to live intentionally because then we can live in truer alignment to our values and our beliefs. And that can give us, again, that greater sense of like meaning and purpose. So I think it really is about that perspective, really owning our life. And, you know, wherever possible, sing the Frothy Coffee song, as I've already sung for you. You know the chorus now, so it's great. That's some thoughts on that, but I want to continue that conversation, and I know that we can, so drop me a message. Another question: how do you deal with animal noises when sleeping at night in the tent somewhere in the bushes? I pretty much know all of the animal noises. I don't mean that sound arrogant, but like I know the sound of nature at night and in the day. Yes, it is a little bit unsettling when I hear something that I don't know, especially if I know it's a human. I get way more unsettled knowing there's people about me than animals. But honestly, I haven't I only started camping when I was 18. How old am I now? 23. Just for another month. What's the date today? Ooh, 13th. It's happening, people. I want to be 24. Someone save me. It really doesn't bother me, to be honest. In fact, I draw comfort from it. You know, when my mindset's slightly out, it can be, you know, especially if it's like a vixen screaming like they usually do in February, sort of during the mating season. It is sometimes a bit unsettling, but I really try and draw comfort from the fact that actually I have the skills and the knowledge to understand nature, to know what things mean, to hear that, you know, that robin's putting out its alarm call at 3 a.m. in the morning. That means something's around. Like, I can actually be clued in to what's going on. And I really quite like that. It's sort of the language in nature. So yeah, it's all good. Again, intentionality. I've chosen to learn about nature so that I can feel closer to it no matter what I'm doing. Just as people in the past, you know, would have naturally picked this stuff up as kids. Yeah, not part of my upbringing, but it's part of my life now. So there we go. How long does it roughly take to edit a video or film? So long. I mean, I can tell you with my body language. Oh. It takes a long time. I can talk you through the steps real quick. How long we got? 30 minutes in, 30 to go. Basically, do you know what? I really don't want to do that because it's just even thinking about it is exhausting. It takes a long time. It takes longer than it should because of software issues and GoPros being GoPros, and they're not my best friends. Let's just put it that way. Corrupt files. But basically, the way I do it super quick is I get all the footage onto Final Cut when it eventually allows me to do that. I put it into a timeline. Day one, I start with the GoPros, and basically I go through it all, and that's kind of mindless, where I literally just cut off the end and the beginning of each, or the beginning and the end of each shot, so that I've got the bit that I want. So say I had a piece to camera, like a final piece, usually that takes me like 20 takes. Again, reasons why I hike alone. People would quickly lose patience with how many takes things take me. So many times. Take, you know, no giving. Yeah, so I'll just literally cut them out where I have a whole piece. I won't listen to them hardly. I'll literally just look at the audio levels and cut stuff out. Do that through the whole thing. Usually that leaves me about 3, 4, 5 hours of footage, depending on how long the trail is. Then I go through and add the Canon footage and the phone footage on top of that. And then I start to whittle it down. So whittle. And then once I've got it cut down to the sort of rough length I want, I script it. So when I script it, I literally play the footage. I do the research at the same time. I write the script. I like handwriting it. That's quite fun. And then that usually helps me cut other things out because I'm like, this doesn't really fit in. There's a story that I'm telling right now. And then basically I record it, which is not the best experience. That's another way to test my patience, but I do that. Then I preview it. I do Foley sounds. We talked about this during the Patreon session I had last week, actually. Foley sounds. So yeah, I'll add extra sounds where perhaps, you know, the sound quality from the camera is not very good. And then I will render it. It takes about 3 days, apparently. And then upload it. So that's the process from A to Z. Skadoosh. All right. Having walked the Yorkshire World's Way, do you think it should be classified as an area of outstanding natural beauty? Yes, I do. Yeah, man. Actually, these are not the Haystacks ones. I broke them, but they're exactly the same because I love them so much. I bought another pair. Hit issues with your knees. Yeah, lots of issues with knees. I mean, knees are very sensitive. I mean, just saying knee pain is very arbitrary, I'm afraid. And I do steer away from medication because I try and be as natural as possible, unless I absolutely have to. Have you ever lost a piece of kit and had to go back and find it? I've lost so many gloves, man. I mean, if I ever end up in the polls, I'm going to really have to work on my glove loving the gloves. Love the gloves. Glove the love. I don't even know. Have I lost a piece of kit? I lost my knife recently. That's sad. I've lost so many knives, actually. I lost an MP3 player. We talked about that last week. That's part of my kit. I usually take that on the trail. I've lost... That's where I lost. Not a lot, because everything has its slot. And if it's not in the slot, then that's sad. Do I keep a walking journal? Yeah, I do. Well, I keep a diary. And that's probably the wrong word, but I write things down on pages and paper in books. So I never read them. I very, very rarely go. I read them when I write the blog. So usually I run a Kickstarter campaign every year, an annual Kickstarter blog, Kickstarter page. I had that made for this year's walks, but now it's not out there in the world. So one of the tiers for Kickstarter is I offer access to the blogs that I write, and they're quite long blogs because I really like to give people a real insight into what goes on the trail. Because of course, like, I don't catch everything on camera, and also like the films that go out is such a small percentage of the footage I gather. So within the blogs, I can go into a little bit more detail. And actually, right now I'm fumbling and stumbling and mumbling with the idea of potentially. Here comes another helicopter. What do you do? with the idea of like writing ebooks, like especially about the TMB. I really want to tell that story thoroughly, the ins and outs of what happened on the trail, and give you an insight into that experience. Why am I answering this question? Oh yeah, walking journal. So yes, I do. I write things down in a book on pages. All right, let's have a look. I suffer with anxiety attacks just before leaving the house, but I'm fine once out. Any tips to combat this, as I much prefer being outside? Make a list of what being outside means to you. Write down how you're really feeling when you're feeling those anxiety attacks come in. Like, what is it that's stopping you? Is it fear? Is it worry of something happening? Trying to rationalize that. Again, comfort yourself. Talk to yourself as you would a friend. Don't belittle what you're feeling, because what you're feeling really matters. So yeah, that's some thoughts there. Can you recommend a relatively easy fair in the Lake District, please? Maybe try cat bells. There you go. That's off the top of my head. Have you walked the Yorkshire Free Peaks? Not yet. It was on the list for this year. Whether it'll happen, maybe. I'm going for speed now. Okay, now I've slowed down. Any Scottish trips planned? Nothing in particular at this very moment, because I'm not sure of the current situation. But hey, I may end up just up north, because I do like it up there. I'd like to go to the islands. Orkney. I think we talked about that. Orkney, Shetland. Harris, Arran, where's the other one? The main one, Skye, yeah. If animals could talk, oh, I love this question. If animals could talk and you could ask Bobby and Penny 3 questions, what would you ask? Oh, that's a good question. Oh man, now I don't know what to answer it with. Does it have to be the same question for each of them? What does the world smell like? Why do you sniff up a dog's butt? Also, why do you have to eat that sheep poo when I specifically told you not to? What else would I ask? I love this question. This is going to keep me entertained on sleepless nights. Think. What would I ask them? I'm taking this question really seriously, but I can't think of anything. I might just actually put that as a social post at some point. So watch this space. I might have to put something out there. In fact, let me just 2 seconds. I want to take a picture of that question so I can remember to do that as work. Click. There you go. Thank you. Have you thought about walking the John Muir Way? Yes, I've looked at that. It seems like a lot of road walking. It goes through a lot of urban areas, so I'm not super keen, but I'm trying to create a resource here of documenting as many trails as possible, so I'll probably end up on it at some point. Have you used your new 1 kilogram Van Gogh self-inflating mat since the Rob Way? I have not. I'm potentially going to offer it as a giveaway for those who are in Patreon group. We do monthly giveaways. I give away books. I give away things I find on the trail. I give away gear, soon gear. So definitely another incentive, you know. Also, I like the fact your name is just outdoors. That's quite cool. Are you outdoors though? That's the question. Would you say the Rob Roy Way is okay for an older person? We're both in the 60s and B&B. I would say yes, definitely plan ahead with the B&Bs. There's not as many sort of places you go through en route as there are on the West Island Way and stuff. But yeah, it's a pretty chilled out trail. Do you have a favorite hike, either long distance or day hike? I've answered that before. I don't have a particular favorite hike, because I think the experience you have on the hike also dictates things, but I very much have fond memories of the coast to coast and the TMB. If we're talking UK and I have to pick 2, I'll go West Island Way. Yes, I use the 48 version of the Exos. I have never used my 58, although I was planning on using that this year. Probably might not now. Yes, the shams of the Exos I think you're talking about is the new Exos. The new Exos I will not touch with a barge pole. Also, what is a barge pole? Is that like canaling? Yeah, I can't. I like having hip belt pockets. Kids say hi. Hi. I think you get... Would you like to totally live off-grid? I definitely would do that for a bit, but of course I wouldn't be able to work if I lived off-grid, because I need the internet, unfortunately. Although, to be fair, off-grid means like you're self-sufficient, right? So I could do that. Well, I couldn't, but I could. I would. Oh gosh, I would do it. Yes, Coniston have said don't come yet to the Lake District if you missed that part of the conversation. Yeah, I'm just reading about in Viking and Celtic. Yeah, women were equal to men. Yeah, that's also why that's the era I would go back to. And just be like, I have a sword. Look at my sword. I love my sword. It's kind of sad. I like swords and stuff, but I wouldn't kill anyone. I just couldn't do that. I would just be like going around like, just love each other, people. Have you ever heard a fox bark? Yes, I have. Hi, how are you? I'm great. What's your favorite season? Spring. Autumn. Summer. Maybe winter. Nah, spring. No, definitely autumn. Autumn. Nature sounds good. It's all good until it's 3 a.m. and something snuffling against your tent and it's in bear country. Yeah, that's not fun. I don't envy you for that experience. Walking alone is great for mindfulness. True. Yeah, DJI Osmo action camera. Trouble is, not waterproof. But I have thought about getting one of those and using that primarily. Also, I need to know how that works in the wind. So, Ian, we can talk. Also, I realize I need to message you back. What GoPro do you use? I've got the GoPro 7. I have 2 GoPro 7s after trying the 6 and the 5 and the 4, but the 7 just has so many glitches. Both of them have glitches. They keep corrupting files when it goes to putting the files into the computer. It freezes halfway through. It locks up. The batteries just die straight away. What else happens to it? It overheats for some reason. It's just not my best friend. Let's just put it that way. Not the happiest person with the new GoPros. Well, they're not even that new anymore. You should show us some cooking skills in the wild. I would if I could cook in the wild. I literally just live off like couscous. But yeah, let's do it, man. I need to find a place where I can go and do bushcraft. I don't have a place to go and do bushcraft, but I have so many ideas for the channel, as I've talked about. And at some point, I will manifest those ideas into realizations. Do you ever do a hike just for you or always film your hikes? Yeah, I talked about that last week. I really don't walk for myself. I've done one walk this year for myself, and that was, when was that? Last week. It was on Sunday. I put a post up on social saying it's a pretty rare occasion. Did you know you were going to do this when you were a kid? Not this in particular, but I wanted to be a presenter. I wanted to be a wildlife filmmaker. I wanted to be a conservationist, and it's kind of just morphed into my own thing, which is fun. Can you do an outtake video? Dude, I've thought about that so much, but I don't know, man. I share little things on Facebook and stuff sometimes, like where I don't know, eat something weird or can't get a word out. But just there's so many. I have so much footage. It's intimidating. What have I got? I think I've got about 16 terabytes of footage from the last 3 years, 3.5 years, 4 years, at least. That's a lot of footage. Why don't you take the dogs? Looking after them. Because they're 11 and 14. Bobby hates the outside, which is just, why, Bobby? And Penny she can't really manage more than 2 miles now. Also, taking a dog, the trail becomes about the dog. It's not about you. It's their well-being that comes first. So it's a very different experience hiking with a dog. I think people have a very romantic view of taking a dog on a trail, long distance trail. But the reality is you have to carry all their stuff. Yes, some of them can carry some stuff. You come up on a stile or a gate. If it gets cold, you need to think about them. It's wet, you need to think about them. You need to look after their paws. They need to eat well. They need to drink well. There's a lot to think about. Is the dog's hike not your hike? TMB is the Tour de Mont Blanc. France, Italy, Switzerland. Walked that last year. Good trail. Check out the video. It's called Alive. Have you ever been to Furtor on Dartmoor? Remotest tour. Is that one? They're like near. That's in the military zone, isn't it? Because I don't think I have actually. Well, maybe I have, but I haven't filmed it. London Loop. That's cool. Oh, hang on. Sorry, we jumped again. Where am I? Where do you recommend to wild camp for an 11-year-old? Because I have only wild camped on Helvellyn. I've only wild camped on Helvellyn. You know, nowhere crazy. Like, oh, sarcasm, by the way. Good job on camping on Helvellyn. I'd like to do that down by Red Tarn. That'd be fun. Wild camp wherever you fancy, mate. Definitely. Wherever you're allowed. I should probably say that because I'm a responsible adult. Look away. Not true. Sitting at the bottom of Row Tour. Oh, man. You're on Dartmoor. Sending love to Dartmoor. Have you tried Epic bars? Or is there another bit of meat protein you take with you? I don't eat meat. I'm predominantly plant-based, so no. Have you ever tried? Oh, I saw the word candle. Kendall mint cake. Oh, have I ever tried? Have I lived? Man, you have not lived till you've had Kendall mint cake. Kendall mint cake is the best stuff. I love it. I have fond memories of Candlemint cake, and I travel all over the world when I eat Candlemint cake. But predominantly sitting at the base of Scarfell Pike because that's when I last had it. Oh, sorry, it's really jumping about. Strong winds when wild camping, what tent would I recommend? It depends how you pitch in the wind as well, but 3-4 season tent should easily be able to take strong wind. Just be sensible, try and use some shelter. Have I ever got arrested for trespassing? No, because you can't here in the UK unless you put up a fight. If you're trespassing, although the countryside code is slightly cringing, I think, but all the farmer or landowner can do is ask you to leave. And yeah, they can be pretty rude about it, but all they can do is ask you to leave. But no, the reality is I don't want to upset anyone. Like, and if I had to wild camp somewhere, I might try and ask permission. I'm not going to lie. That's the only time I do feel slightly unsettled about being a female. I have no issue with being me on the trail. But if it comes to asking someone, can I camp? Then someone knows that I'm there. And I feel somewhat more unsettled about that, especially if they know that I'm on my own. I don't know, man. Stealth camping all the way. And then they're like, oh, hey, maybe if they came out and were like, what are you doing? I'm like, can I camp here? Like, they're like, no. Okay. And then they leave. And then I'd camp there probably. So, but I haven't been arrested because you can't at the moment. Have you ever watched Hunted UK? Oh, is that thing where like they have to escape people? Because I have not watched that, but people have said that I should do that. I would be rubbish. I can be quite clumsy at times. Like, maybe I should do that for fun. No, just why not? You know, publicly embarrass myself. I mean, I do that every day I wake up. So, would you ever camp in a ruined council? I'd love to do that. Hello from Canada. Ever thought of coming here to hike? I would love to come to Canada to hike. Yes, please. Oh, I'm getting to the bottom. Would you be keen on doing Crib Goch? Yes, that was supposed to be on my list for this year. I was supposed to be there last month. No, in March, actually. And now I'm not. My hand is bruised because I fell over. Told you I can be clumsy. Have you ever been chased by farm animals? I mean, I've had a few cows come up to me before. That's about it, really, I think. No, I don't think so. And look, I reached the bottom of the comments. Way proud of myself. This has been fun. We've covered a lot of ground here today. I'm quite happy with this. So, my question for you guys is, where are you going to head once lockdown is thoroughly shifted and we can get back on the trail? What's the first long distance trail you want to jump onto? I'm kind of interested to hear what you guys are about. It's kind of interesting for me because I'm trying to like brainstorm and assume that I'm going to be stuck in the UK this year, which is fine. There's worse places to be stuck. But to think about like what trails I could do, because most of the trails I had planned for this year were outside of the UK this year. And I'm inside of the UK right now. So yeah, I'm sort of just exploring things. I think I briefly mentioned before the Thames Path. I've mentioned the North Downs Way. I know a lot of folk recommend the Pennine Way and stuff, the Office Dyke, but they're slightly longer, and I'm looking for sort of mid-length trails, so sort of 200 miles odd, a little bit longer, just because then I can get a few more in, because obviously the season's quite condensed now. So yeah, just sort of exploring some ideas. I definitely want to do some biking stuff. We've got some plans with that, which is cool. So I'm just reading your comments. So doing the State Trail, that's interesting. Yeah, I've looked at that. Was your stomach upset after eating the sour apple on the trail? No, my stomach's pretty solid, to be honest. Like, if I eat weird things. Cycle a jog. I wouldn't do Le Jog, I don't think. I do joggle. So Le Jog, for those of you guys who don't know, is Land's End to John O'Groats. So here on the map to here on the map. Or maybe if you guys, it's reversed to here on the map to here on the map. And then joggle is John O'Groats to Land's End. I'll probably do joggle because it feels like I'm cycling home. Because I live in the southwest, for those of you guys who don't know that. Patrick is pondering that question. Good. It's nice to ponder things. Ponder. I'm interested in reading your comments. Where you're going. Meant to be going to Croatia. Croatia's where the GR20 is, isn't it? Do you watch other people's YouTube channels? No, I do not. I really don't. If I do, it's not hiking related. All right, I'm just going to read a couple more and then we will wrap this up because we are 49 minutes and 9 seconds in. Planned to walk the coast to coast last month. I'm in Scotland. Yeah, your situation's slightly different in Scotland, isn't it? That's you'll be free soon, as Braveheart says. Freedom. Haven't seen videos of you cycling. No, because I have not filmed any of my cycling. I do cycle. I haven't for a few weeks, but I do. And I have a few ideas. I've got quite a lot of ideas, actually. I really want to bring bike stuff to the channel, bike packing, because I don't need to do any collabs for that. I have quite a few ideas. Some of them take me north. Some of them take me south. Some of them take me here. Some of them take me there. So, yeah. Could write a rap. I'm not going to write a rap. I'm still getting questions. This is crazy. Have you watched the walking documentary Hooks? Hooks? No, I have not. Dartmoor Way. Yeah, the Dartmoor Way. So the Dartmoor Way is created in, 2002? So originally, the original route sort of goes down through the middle of Dartmoor. I know this because I've been looking at it. But they're extending it. They're extending it south. It goes down to Ivy Bridge. So I'm intrigued by this, but it's not on my map. So I need to know where the route goes. So if anyone has a OS link or anything to the full new Dartmoor Way, please do send that my way. I'll be very grateful. Hey, it's all rhyming. Hey, way. Say. Are you planning on walking the Camino? How about writing a book? Camino is on the list purely because I just feel like it's an experience I should have. I'm not at all interested in the trail. Obviously, yeah, there's a lot of history, but there's also a lot of people. This is a very different experience to what I'm used to. And I think it would be a slightly different challenge, like not so much the terrain, but actually just kind of, I don't know, like embracing the experience of the Camino. The Camino, you walk for the experience in a way. So it's something I'm thinking about. When it will happen, je ne sais pas. Sorry about that. How about writing a book? Writing a book is a big commitment, and that's why I'm thinking like ebooks. Sort of, I mean, as I say, all I feel like I'd write about right now is Alive, the TMB walk. Sort of share that story a little bit more. I talked about that, but at the same time, you know, it is in the back of my mind, like some things that I could write about. Sort of ways to connect with nature and the power of that, like doing some proper research into the science. So watch this space. But actually, I have got it as a Patreon goal. When I reach a set number of Patreons, then I'm going to start to think more seriously about writing a book. Well, I will. Whatever it ends up being about, I'm not sure. I don't know. Do I have a book within me? Maybe. Maybe not. Having failed dismally on it, I can find... Yeah, the GR20 was nothing. Yeah, I was looking at that for this year. It didn't really fit in with my itinerary, but it's probably second on the scale of ones I really want to do. Yeah, I really want to hit the GR20. I have lots of cunning plans for adventures. That's a comment. I didn't make that up. Scrolling through the comments. Dooby. Have you done a documentary on the South Downs Way? Yes, that was 2016. You can see it. I was younger then, man. I mean, I had the hat, but I didn't have the me. Yeah, I filmed that, so you can check that out. Has that got a name, or is it just 100 miles on the South Downs Way? I think it's called. Oh, off to the summit. Ben McDoo. Wait. How many cream teas have you had on one walk? Oh, man. Question is, how honest do I get during these sessions? You know, you got to keep some boundaries in place. I mean, what does a walk constitute of? Because there's a multi-day hike is a walk, right? Like, I've done a day walk where I've stopped 3 times, you know, just biting my nails in anxiety of judgment. I didn't eat anything else though. Why did I say that out loud? That's probably that. I can take or leave a cream tea now, but you know, you got to make a film interesting and beats seeing me, right? You want to look at the cream tea. Camino Primitivo. Ooh, I don't know that one. Words, pen. I'm writing that down. That's my name. If you want less people and more mountains, Camino Primitivo. Look at this. I'm learning. That's fun. Thank you for that, Jasmine. That's very interesting. All right, let's scroll in a few more, and then we will round this thing up. Are you waiting? Yes, man. That's exactly why I watched Mulan the other day, because I'm waiting for the new Mulan to come out, and I was so pumped about that in March, and then it's like lockdown. So inconsiderate. Yeah, I'm really excited about it coming out. Actually, I like Mulan. I like the story of it. It's even just that kids version gets me proper like pumped up for life. So let's get down to business. It's a good song. Yes, Dartmoor Way is on the Hiker app. It is. That's what I'm using currently. But that's the old version. It's not got the new extension on it. Is the lockdown bothering you mentally? Okay, I've done a bit of a journey with lockdown. Kind of got used to it a little bit, made life work. Also, not being in the best space mentally. So it's kind of been nice not to have the pressure of like have to get out and film stuff. And now lockdown is changing and I'm finding myself like, oh, I just got used to this. Please don't change. Now I have to do things with my life. I don't know. I think maybe I'm underestimating how much it has affected me mentally, but I feel like I can quite reasonably confidently say it hasn't affected me that much. What has affected me is people's attitude during lockdown and how people have just been very, certainly across the internet, in some of the spaces I have participated in and now left, being really quite volatile to each other. I've enjoyed the quieter roads. I've relished the silent skies. I'm certainly not enjoying the busy roads right now. 20 is plenty of people, So I don't know. I think as human beings we're quite good at adapting. I'm not always great at transitions, but I can be good at adapting. So there's some thoughts on that. Also, yes, new t-shirts, please. Our supplier is just about opening up, so watch this space. We're gonna have some t-shirts on sale, people. Skadoosh. I'm really excited about it, actually. Put them out. Stay Wild t-shirts. I would show you one, but I'm not wearing one, so I can't do that. But yeah, they will be available in the next few weeks. I'm gonna do a celebration of making it through this situation. Yeah, so keep an eye out. What are we on? 56? What the flip? Now I want a cream tea. Man, let's do it. Do you know what? We should do that. Just set up like a Zoom call, because Zoom you can have all the faces, and we should just have like a virtual cream tea party. Cape Wrath is an interesting trail. It's not up there on my list. I don't know why. I think just because, especially as a story, it's not. I like the idea of being somewhere kind of remote. I like the idea of doing it. I will do it someday. But if I'm honest, the best films are the ones where stuff happens and things change. And you go through places and you can meet other people. Because otherwise it's just kind of the same thing every day. Oh, look, bog, mountain, moors, heather, river crossing, bothy. So you can make a good film out of it, and absolutely I will do it someday, but it's not the highest on my priority list. And if I did it, I want to do it myself, definitely. So it'd be a challenge. And I can tell the story, and I can actually, feel like I've partnered with myself to get through it, with regards to, the navigation and managing the conditions. So yeah, that's a good question though. I keep saying I'm going to wrap this up, and then I keep reading questions. I'm kind of enjoying this today. What was one thing in your pack you could not live without? Okay, I guess if we're everything I use though, like obviously kind of shelter's helpful, sleeping bag's helpful. I like having my MP3 player with me. I'm going to talk. I really don't take much that's like not necessary for like a full-on hiking trip, but my MP3 player I do enjoy. I don't necessarily use it on every trail, but it's quite nice to just, because I don't really carry a book. I just read the guidebook in the evenings, so I could live without it, but it's nice to have it. It's kind of like a comfort that it's there. So yeah, good question though. Walking whales. Bam, I love that. To defeat the Huns. We're on the same page. I'm loving this. All right, let's have a look. We as humans have made it this far. We'll manage, I'm sure, together. Yes. Can you list all the walks in your video intro? I don't know. What does that mean? I'm not sure what that means. Apologies. Yeah, there's the Wrath. The Wrath is the film where they run the Cape Wrath Trail. Cleveland Way. I walked that last year. I'm just working on the film. That'll be out in the next month or two. Have you read my books? No, I have not. Oh, yes, MP3 player. You need an MP3 player to get cheap. Boom, I made it to the end of the questions. Ha, good job. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. This has been fun. So cool. We've covered a lot of ground. I really enjoyed that. Yes. Things are transitioning. I know many of us are feeling unsettled by things, but it's okay. Make space for how you're feeling. Surround yourself with conversations and with people as best you can who lift you up, hold space for you, who hear what you have to say. It's really important that if you are someone who struggles with transition or is feeling quite overwhelmed by the idea of getting out and being busy, you're not sure where to start and the year's not gone to plan, just breathe, take a deep breath, put your hand on your heart. You've got this. You're not on your own with this. It's happening now. Things are definitely transitioning slowly. It's a big old world out there, but part of this is we are a tribe, and I appreciate that many of you guys tune in because you're on your own journey with your mental health or physical health. And once again, it's so good that we get to do this together. There's ups and downs for me just as it is for you, and things carry on. Nothing is a constant. Just persevere, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So this is going to be the last one of these for a while. I'm not going to jump on next week. I just want to give it a little bit of space now. The live sessions, that is. So I will please keep an eye on my social media pages for any news about when I'm going to do another live session. If you want to, whether I do another live session as well, just sort of depends on the situation, because these were started as a response to the COVID-19 situation, just to offer a little bit more support, put myself out there so we can hang out and just talk about different stuff. So if you would like to join in for more live sessions, I do them through Patreon. So again, you can check out our Patreon community. I think I can share that link again now. There you go. I'll have to sing it because why not? So please feel free to check that out. But in the meantime, guys, if there's any pointers or ideas you have for a while, definitely let me know. If you're struggling, drop me a message and I'll do my best to get back to you. You're not on your own with this. We're gonna get through it, man. The hills are calling us. So we go there to lose our souls. Oh, I don't know. I lost everything. All right, man. These are fun. I'm gonna miss these live sessions, but as I say, I want to give them a bit of space. So, but I will be back. We will have another one at some point. Why not? I think they're good. I can certainly make it like every few months, definitely. Keep an eye out. Cleveland Way will be coming your way. Keep logging your miles for 1,000,000 miles. It is a mouthful, isn't it? 1,000,000 miles, really, really important. Please keep drawing trees and putting them in your cars, maybe sharing with people, especially now we can get out and about a little bit. Let's just get this conversation about mental health going. I'm not going to lie, it has been really hard. I don't feel like it's been picked up as I envisioned it being picked up, 1,000,000 miles from mines. But again, persevering, that's all we can do. Do the best we can every single day. And that is our life. Doing the best we can. That's all we can do. And when we do our best, at least we're being true to ourselves. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. I'm waving a blue pen at you. It's a nice blue, isn't it? I'm feeling really hot, so I'm going to go outside. Guys, I'll catch you later. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Thank you for being you. Stay safe. And, of course, stay wild. Bye.